That guy is only good for this. Watch.
What is that?
Cash machine. That's what it is.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Serie A audio experience with IFTV. My dad is not here, but Antonio doesn't care because all he's been saying, I'm sorry, Peter. He's looking at you. We're all looking at you. Why?
Well, Peter's not a problem here.
No, Peter's not a problem, but Peter's team didn't perform exactly this week. It was first round of Serie A, so of course we were all happy to be back. It started off very surprising. We know CR7 started his debut in Italy. He didn't score.
No goal.
And Chievo Verona almost pulled off an upset. This is what you get, though, when you come and watch in Italy, right?
Giaccherini, I just want to say something. He has a goal, he had assists, and he won a penalty. He had to be the MVP of that match. Yeah.
Giaccherini.
He's part
You don't know that?
Brazilian.
You don't remember that?
That's his nickname.
When he scored in the Coppa Italia, he scored like 2 or 3 goals.
Oh, they call him Giaccherini.
Conte said, we should call him Giaccherini.
Listen,
like
let me say something. I said, first of all, I tip my hat to Peter for sticking up with his believing in Inter. I mean, look at that, what a disaster.
We're going straight to
Oh,
it.
God.
Oh,
Listen.
man.
I heard a comment from Spalletti that something was not right about the field. Okay?
That's correct.
I learned this expression in America. What's good for the geese is good for the genders, right? So if the geese...
What the hell does that mean?
If the field was good enough for the geese,
That's true.
it could have been just good enough for the gender. The only problem is that Spalletti is not a real coach.
Oh, come on,
So he's
don't
going to have
say
to just
that.
resort to this kind of a stupid excuses.
Guys, we're
Just
one game
take the
into,
loss.
we're one round into the Serie A.
Take the
and gloves
loss
are on.
like a gentleman. He says, hey, we had a bad game. The people are rusty. A lot of those people, they play the final of the World Cup. A lot of them, they're not really into the mechanism of the team yet because they knew they haven't got into the groove of the, of the synchronization and the game and the team. They don't know all of those mechanisms yet. So he came down with this stupid excuse that the field was not really, we got penalized for the field. In other words, Sassuolo was playing on field A, and then Inter was playing on field B. But at the first half, what they kept the same? They kept on the same size, or they
Peter's
switched?
about to go crazy.
No, the
He
thing
also-
is the field played to Sassuolo's advantage. One, because I'm not trying to make any excuse for Spalletti or for Inter. Inter played a terrible game, and we'll talk about it later on. But the field was terrible. Okay, Sassuolo had already an advantage that they know how to play on that field, or they played on the field before. They scored the penalty, and then they played defense the whole time. Inter was trying to make passes, and the style of play for Inter, this field was not up to standards for a Serie A game. Now we have Ronaldo. All the Serie A fields have to be better.
Guys,
That's all I have to
let me
for
say
that.
something. If you're listening in audio right now, go onto YouTube, go to minute 2, and zoom in on Antonio's eyes as Peter said that because it is absolutely hilarious. Antonio, what are you gonna say?
No, wait. Didn't Inter play in Sassuolo a year ago, 2 years ago? They've been playing. They've been playing for
It's one
several
of the
years.
dark horses of
Sassuolo's got a very good
Inter.
team.
They do.
got a team
They
that's
do.
they're.
They got Boateng there now, guys.
Yeah, he's a rapper.
Okay, wait.
He's a rapper too, yeah.
Say what
The
you're gonna
bottom line is this: just come up with an excuse that make you look like a gentleman. Not to you, Peter. Because,
No,
But this Spalletti, comes out with this expression. Hey, to him, actually, I didn't see him being upset because to
No,
him,
he was upset.
He was
He was upset. Yeah, of course he was upset.
So
On the sideline, of course, he looked like Allegri looked when Juventus were down 2.
Afterwards,
Both
it was
were
more
very
like, guys,
frustrated.
come on, it was a
I
field.
mean,
You can't blame
But
him.
he also said
Sassuolo scored in the first half, right?
Yeah.
Penalty.
Inter had almost
yeah, they had
90
chances.
minutes.
not 90 minutes. They had 45 minutes. They
All
scored.
right, one and a half
scored,
up.
85 minutes.
But also-
85
Come on.
Nah, but
You
it-
just don't have it right now. The team is not great. You bought a lot of expensive players, and I hope you're gonna live up to regret because AC Milan, they do nothing but wishing Inter to do poorly, But on the Champions League, by any means, if they go all the way to the Champions League and to the final, And we're standing behind and looking up. We're gonna be cheering up for you guys. Respect, yeah. But on the campionato, don't feel bad, Pete. AC Milan's got 0 point. You guys got 0 point.
But what's the only difference?
The only difference is that we didn't play. You guys played.
So then the losses is still to come.
No, but Spalletti after the game, he did say what Peter said. He's like, listen, Sassuolo, they had one penalty kick. And there wasn't really, much else for them. Berardi put in the penalty. Duncan was great, too.
Inter product.
Yo, Handanovic almost saved it, too. It was so close. It hit him. I think it went down the
Berardi,
middle.
let me say this. I don't remember right now.
Berardi's a top player. He's a top player. I always liked Berardi. Berardi put Milan out of misery. He scored 4 goals against AC Milan, and he put Allegri out of his misery.
I got you right now. This is Domenico Berardi versus Inter and Milan. Both the Milan clubs. 16 games, 12 goals.
Wow.
In 8 games, he scored 8 goals versus AC Milan. Versus Inter, he scored 4 goals in 8 games. Those are ridiculous numbers.
He loves Milano, guys.
The thing is, we know that Berardi popped 3-4 years ago. He had 2 good seasons. Then the past 2 or 3 seasons, they've been low. He was injured. And now he's starting the season, at least on a better foot. But man, this guy wishes that he could play against them every week because there's something about him that he always scores against them.
I think that guy, it's a caliber, national team caliber.
I think he's 21, 22 still.
No, I think he's a little
bit older than that.
He's like 23.
He's a little bit older than
Maybe
that.
24. Could be 24.
Either way.
24,
Either way. Sassuolo, I think, like Peter said, Sassuolo have a better team than I think that they're given credit for.
That's true.
They look good.
Oh, like I said, Inter disappointed. They disappointed not just Inter fans, but all of Serie A because Inter was claimed to be the contender for the Scudetto race. After a game like that, it was a total disgrace.
Maybe that's a good thing.
Sassuolo, I don't know if it's a good thing. If they would have tied that game, I would have been fine. The loss is just, it depends, because we have to remember that a lot of the players on Inter, they don't have that winning background. None of them have won anything. A loss can necessarily hurt them. It's not going to be something that they could get upset about and try to win the next game. So we have to see how it rides.
Who they play next game?
Torino. They're going to play Torino and Milan. So another tough game. These are the tough games that Inter historically have always lost or tied versus Torino. I remember Lajak scored the goal last year. And then also Politano, who now is on Inter, he scored the goal last year. So
who do you think was good for Inter?
For Inter, I think Asamoah played unbelievably. He's the only guy that has the winning mentality, I guess. He was
Where
great.
did he come from?
Handanovic also.
Handanovic, yes, he made saves and stuff like that, but I'm used to Handanovic.
Who else do you think played good? What do you think about Lautaro Martinez?
Lautaro Martinez, he tried to get into the play, and the action, he was coming back. He was playing like a trequartista role, but just Sassuolo's high press was too much for Inter. Inter wasn't able to get into the game until the second half. Yeah. And a lot has to do with Dalbert. Spalletti's trying to give him a new life, but he really, really did not play up to standards. Once Perisic came in for Dalbert and Asamoah went back to left back, we had more advanced.
So Perisic didn't even start the game.
Perisic didn't play. Perisic didn't play. Played in the second half. Remember, a lot of these guys are all new. The whole top 4. We're all new.
I have to be honest with you. My problem is again with Spalletti. I was reading some headline before the game. I says, "Okay, now guys, we have the bicycle. Now we have to just
I saw that.
pedalare in Italian.
Yeah, we need to pedal.
We need to pedal right now. So I think Spalletti has raised the expectation too high. I mean, they bought just about anybody that was was available and high caliber players. So Inter on the paper, according to the value of the team and to the experience of those players, it should be contenting just to win just about everything.
Well, not everything.
And Spalletti said it. We are here to win.
But you need to see 2 sides. There's 2 points to this. Number 1, what you have on paper doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to work in person.
But this is if you're a coach with that kind of
that's not true.
Experience.
Let me say,
you don't open your mouth and you don't put yourself into the situation to be criticized.
It's not just
Number two, like we were saying, even outside, these small teams in Italy, they play great. They always fight. And a lot of these big teams have players who are playing in the World Cup. Look at Inter's team. There's a lot of players that were in the World Cup. Even Juventus, a lot of them were not training. A lot of these players came in late. So these smaller teams have been working together since July, early July, mid-July. They have a lot of experience together. In the beginning of the season, That's where they got to pick up big points. They know for a team like Sassuolo, they have the opportunity where Inter are just getting together. It's much better to play them now than to play them in December. So they got to make it work. The smaller teams in Italy are good. They do not walk over anybody. Look at Chievo, Verona. You can't put any of them down. It's not easy. Just because it looks good on paper doesn't mean that it's going to go right away.
I would have loved Juventus not winning that game
I know.
Saturday. I'm telling you.
It changes. Well,
That
the
was a
thing is
tough
also
game.
Skriniar was out. For
Yeah.
Inter,
That's
he's
true.
big. Skriniar
Miranda
is big.
Miranda and De Vrij started.
De
right?
Vrij started.
Yeah.
De Vrij actually impressed me. Miranda made a couple of mistakes. You know, it's still they have
De
to
Vrij
get
almost
back
scored.
into
De Vrij almost
Yeah, he
scored
almost
the
scored the
header.
header.
That's
Yeah.
right.
They have to get back into the swing of things. Lautaro Martinez, I mean, you can't really expect
That's
a
true.
lot from him. He's coming from Argentina, which
But
is
he
a
did
whole
a
different league.
pre-campionato. Was
He had a
stellar.
great, no, but he still impresses me.
Right.
Even the game, even yesterday's game, it wasn't like he was totally out of the game. He tried to make moves. He got the fouls, but the only thing is the whole Inter team wasn't able to really work.
They didn't play well.
But I can't
They
believe
didn't
that
play well.
Spalletti didn't
That's it.
account for something like that. It's not the first time that you're facing
He
a
should've
small thing
predicted
like
that.
that.
Listen,
He
Spalletti
should
should've
be
predicted
accounting
that.
for that, Pete. Come
He
on.
should have known that there was going to be a
not
penalty
just-
too.
Oh, give me a break.
Antonio
There was
puts
also-
Inter such on a pedestal, so if they perform less than perfect, it's a failure.
Oh,
so if they don't win the treble this season, they are
There was
failures
also
to
a penalty
Antonio.
shout that nobody seems to talk about. Asamoah
Penalty
was
shout.
hit from
Yeah.
Oh,
behind.
yeah, that's right.
And
That's
there's a
right.
new rule with the VAR or discretion of the referee that they
So what
can-
is the new rule, Pete?
it's not a new
Only
rule.
if the ref
It's
the
up
ref
to the discretion of the referee now. Some like if it's
Instead of
nothing,
just them saying
if
it,
it's
yeah.
nothing like clamoroso, how do you say like
Right.
Incredible,
If-
crazy.
yeah,
Right.
you know?
So in other words, if somebody from the bar room they said, "Hey, listen, we are reviewing a play."
Then he can. But
Then
if
he
he
can.
waves it down, says no, I agree to
Oh,
this
so
call.
he-
He
okay.
can. He
So
doesn't
the
have
ref
to.
can still waive the call from the
We
bar
saw
room.
mistakes already this
Yeah.
weekend. There was a few penalty mistakes that
So-
aren't. What, Mike? What are you gonna say?
There's a funny comment.
But I mean, I'm not gonna go after this
Yeah,
penalty,
yeah,
that
yeah,
penalty.
yeah.
By
Let's not do that.
You're not gonna get
That's
anywhere
true.
with that.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing is, Inter didn't play up to standards. We're waiting for Nangolan. He was the real big
He had
signing.
his eyes on
His
the pitch.
injuries-
No, the whole game.
almost. He saw something white, just
Oh,
like
God.
walked across him. I don't know.
I think the girl was falling. He said.
But you know what I mean? This is again the same point that I'm trying to make. Nainggolan, you guys take Nainggolan. You get nothing but the two national team.
Nainggolan
You
didn't
have-
play.
Well, you have one national team sitting on the bench like Juventus and one national team on the field. So how can you fail against a team like that,
Hey,
like Sassuolo?
Serie A, especially the beginning of the season, anything can happen.
Yeah.
The thing is,
100%, yeah.
the thing
This
is,
is what Serie A is all
This
about,
the be-
Anto. This is why
the
we love this
beginning.
Serie
They haven't
A.
been playing with each
Yeah.
other, so
Alright,
it's
the
only
thing is,
normal they're not going to be
winner,
playing.
winners have a way to win this game or tie this game. If you lose, you're not ready to win the Serie A. So they have to really get it right and start winning some games.
agree with that.
And Torino's a big test for them, but it's in Milan. It's a home opener there. They
So
have
the
to.
third game is
But
Inter
look-
Milan, the third game of the season.
I don't-
After
I don't
Torino,
know.
who's Inter playing? Milan,
don't-
you said, right?
No,
No,
I
he
don't
didn't
think
say
so.
that.
Okay, then.
Inter
But-
Milan's in October.
But guys, look for a second. How many points were Juve behind Napoli in the beginning of the season? They had such a bad start. So there's not an indication at all what the end of the
By
season is gonna
Juve,
be.
Inter will play
Juve.
Bologna.
What do you- okay, but how many points were Juve behind
No, but
Napoli?
yo, guys, it's the first game of the
Listen,
season.
what
There's no point
impressed
to
me-
keep going.
That's what I'm saying.
What
because-
impressed me the most on this the first day, I mean, CR7, all that
What were we gonna
money,
say?
all that now.
What are you gonna say?
The first, really, the team that impressed me the most was Napoli, the way they played.
Really?
Ancelotti, yes.
With the goalkeeper,
didn't
I heard the
impress me.
goalkeeper's pretty good.
Listen,
Is
they,
Greek?
Yeah,
they had,
stupid.
they
I
had
think
a
so.
bad
This
first
guy.
half. They had a bad
Yeah,
first
they didn't
half.
play good the first half.
I
But,
told you guys.
the second
Don't
half,
count Napoli
We're,
out.
we're,
They didn't
we're
change
talking
much.
Lazio lost 2-1 to
Immobile's
Napoli.
goal.
Napoli.
Jeez.
So,
Keep going.
hey, Immobile had a spectacular goal. He
Unbelievable.
That's goal of the
He put
season.
three
That is
defenders out of the misery. I don't know if he
Unbelievable.
really meant that
No, he
way.
meant
No,
it.
yeah,
Come
he
on.
did. Yes, of
Come
course.
on, he didn't mean that.
Albiol made a mistake. He tried to cut down to.
Well, Albiol and Ruiz are half defenders, but Koulibaly is a real good
Ancelotti
defender.
was like, I wanted to kill them three.
He said-
He got away from three defenders.
Ancelotti said after the game, he said, when I saw three defenders on one
yeah,
player
I
and
don't
he
ch-
scored, he said, I wanted to kill him.
Oh,
but
boy.
Ciro Immobile, beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful,
that was
beautiful goal.
incredible.
I didn't. He started the season perfectly. That, to me, that was the best goal of
What about
right
Milik?
now.
What about Milik?
Milik. I don't like
No,
Milik.
no, wait.
I
Milik
don't
scored
like
one
Milik.
goal and he
I
scored
know.
another
What about the
offside
post?
goal.
What
I know.
about the post?
I don't like
mean,
Milik.
hey,
I don't know.
Before
I'm not a fan.
Milik got injured, he was such a
Insigne-
great player. Everyone
Insigne
was on
did
the
good.
bandwagon with
You know
him.
what
Insigne played
surprised
well.
me, Pete? About what do you think about Mertens starting from the bench?
Listen, Ancelotti has a certain style of playing.
Yeah, I
Milik, before he was injured, like Mike was
Yeah.
saying, he actually scored goals. I remember when they were
Yeah.
They needed goals. Milik was there to
kept
score.
scoring. He kept
so
scoring.
Mertens coming from World Cup, maybe not ready yet or not in physical
So they
shape.
resting him.
You
You're
can
saying.
rest him.
But he's also
Otherwise,
on
he
the
would have
left wing.
started. You
He's
think they would have
definitely
Ancelotti would have? It's on the Mertens is not on the
He
starting
played in the
lineup.
left wing.
I think he could definitely fill in a role there.
He can play 2 positions, maybe even
He
3.
might even be the trequartista behind Milik.
Or maybe
For Belgium, he started as a right winger.
Move
So,
Hamsik
yeah.
down to the midfield.
Hamsik too.
So
Hamsik
I mean,
is
Yeah.
Poland.
the thing is,
I don't like the way Hamsik is playing. That guy
Yeah.
can never play 90 minutes.
the past year he wasn't. that good.
He's falling down a little bit.
Yeah,
he's getting older. But the
Yeah.
thing is, he's still a class
He's getting
No,
old.
no,
He's
he's
like
still a
30
good
years
player.
old.
He's still a
31.
class player. He's still a class player.
Napoli didn't impress me. I
But-
know you guys are saying that Napoli impressed you.
Yeah.
I get that they're going from different philosophies of Sarri, who also credit to Sarri, he beat Arsenal. The very huge
3-2,
win. People are
3-2.
loving him in Italy, in England already. But anyway, I know that they're going from 2 different games. Sarri, it was a big system. You get Ancelotti, it's difficult. They ended up pulling through with the win, which is pretty big against a Lazio, who we talked about Lazio, who we're saying they kept all their big players. Inzaghi said, listen, we did a great mercato because I asked them, keep Immobile, keep Savic, keep Luis Alberto, and the club did all 3 of those things.
De
They
Vrij
only
was
lost
only
De
one that
Vrij.
lost,
The-
yeah.
The thing is, we know what the weakness of Lazio is. It's the defense. It's what we've all been saying. Even when De Vrij was there, their weakness was that. Luis Alberto didn't play well either. Savic didn't play well.
Yeah.
Their big performers didn't perform. And Lazio, at the end of the day, they had a 1-0 lead, and they ended up losing it. Credit to Insigne, because Insigne scored a beautiful goal.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Insigne really pushed Napoli forward. When they needed that moment, he came through.
Insigne was really
That was
commanding.
very important.
Insigne was commanding at the whole time. I think he kept pushing his team, and on top of that, Ancelotti has done already more subs than I think Sarri's done. He kept Mertens on the
True.
bench. He started Zielinski. He had Milik starting, and they already had a good game on their first game of the season.
This is to tell you that
Which is great.
Sarri failure was not to use all of those people that they had available to them on the bench.
Every
they
coaching
have
style
to
was
get-
different, though, so you
yeah.
can't blame it on
Now,
that.
watch Ancelotti. He's going to use even the water boy on the field. He's going to use everybody.
Welcome back to Ity, Ancelotti. It was really
Yeah,
nice
exactly.
to have Ancelotti back.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful to see him on a bench, especially
Now,
like Napoli.
I want to just pick up again what we were saying with
I
the
think,
Inter.
Pino, you had to say something about Napoli.
No, I think Napoli is not going to change much. You still saw the classic through ball that Insigne does to looking for Callejon, and then the ball right to either it's Milik or Mertens. That's
Somebody's
the
gonna come from
perfect
behind
goal,
over there, boom.
and that's out of Sarri's book. So I don't like when people say, "Oh, Sarri this, Sarri that." Okay, maybe his management of players, not playing a lot of players, resting certain players for a long season, correct, but. You have to understand each coach is different. Ancelotti has experience winning Champions League. He's won with Milan before. He understands about rotation, and he's going to try different stuff. I mean, the Napoli team didn't change much. They lost one player, Jorginho.
Yeah.
Yes, big player. He's doing great with Chelsea. But, I really thought that Napoli is going to be able to stay ahead of the pack. And fight for Champions League or even a Scudetto race. I don't count them out. I think they're going to be there. They're going to be there. And to win against Lazio in Stadio Olimpico is big.
Excellent.
I
Now,
mean-
Pete, what do you think about the Roma win again in Torino? And what do you think about? I want you to compare Gasperini with what you have coaching your favorite team over there.
Well,
Okay?
I
I don't
mean-
even want to name him again because I know you get upset because you like the guy. But Gasperini lost another 2-3 key players, top of the line, national team players. Some of them they went to Inter Milan. Why Atalanta keeps winning? Is the coach mentality and the way the coach plays the players and how listen to me. This is very important.
Who went to
how the
Inter?
coach develops those players.
Politano.
The coach, I think, is a great motivator, and he develops players that they were.
Gasperini's been a great coach since times with Genoa. He has a certain way of playing, his style of play with the 3-man defense. When he was with Inter,
the 3-4-3.
yeah, when he was with Inter, but he had a rough time, and I think after 3 or 4 games,
They got
sacked
rid of him. They sacked him.
The thing is, but there's different caliber players. So certain caliber players, if they're not on the top, they listen more, or they conform to your idea. It's all about that. It might have just been that Gasperini was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
With Inter struggles with Moratti leaving, Toy here. it was a
Benitez.
confusing time. It wasn't just Gasperini that lost his job within a couple of games. I mean, Mazzarri also
point.
was a. So
It's true.
I do not have anything
but for
against him.
somebody-
But
for
Atalanta is statistically one of those teams that always fights. Even before Gasperini, there was what's his name, Marat, who was coaching.
I don't remember.
Gasperini's been coaching Atalanta for a long time.
For now, yeah. But
Yeah.
even before,
Was it
Atalanta
Reja?
always was. Eddie Reja was there.
Reja.
There was a bunch of guys. But
So
Speaking about
mean-
top players, though, Papu Gomez, 2 goals, 2 assists.
Yeah.
They won their first debut in 10 years, Atalanta. First debut in 10 years. They finally did it. Last time they were there, Bobo Vieri was on Atalanta.
and what a way too.
And they played
4-0.
Siena.
this guy,
He even said after the game, Gasperini said, look, it looks like Papu Gomez is your CR7. And he said he is. Papu Gomez, he rejected everybody to stay at Atalanta because he loves Bergamo. And Atalanta, you say, yeah, they lost Cristante, they lost Politano, they lost
No,
Petagna,
Politano.
which is
Not Politano.
Petagna,
Politano Sassuolo.
Petagna, which
yeah.
Petagna is not. Come on.
Over the years,
Petagna,
they got
they got rid of Petagna. They brought in Zapata, which to me is an upgrade.
Yeah, 100%.
Zapata's going to be a crucial player. This Atalanta is another team, kind of like Sassuolo.
He's going to
and
be
kinda
giving
like
a
Torino.
lot of hard time to
That's
the
gonna be
big team.
tough,
Believe
tough
me,
teams to play.
a lot,
Very tough teams.
He's going to be winning a lot of games against the big teams.
Let's talk about Torino because Torino really, really impressed me against Roma. It was a very good game. I was hoping for Belotti to get on the score sheet. In this one, he didn't. It went down until the 89th minute where Kluivert, who came in, did unbelievable. I think he played 20 minutes. He was so fantastic.
He was the key
tricky.
for the winning of Roma.
He had energy. Dzeko even said after the game, he said if everybody had the attitude that this kid has coming off the bench, we would be a great team. And Dzeko finished it a la Van Basten,
Man.
incredibly.
That was beautiful. What a goal.
And at the end of the day, hard for Torino. It was a tough pill to swallow because they fought all game and they could have even pulled through. But credit to Torino. I thought they looked much stronger than I ever expected.
And Olsen wasn't that bad back in goalkeeper, right?
Yeah,
It was
it
like
wasn't that
Allison
bad.
wasn't even gone.
Can they do that? Can they do that every week, Torino? You know that. Don't forget that the first week everybody gives 1,000%, not 100%, because they're trying to impress the coach. They want to make sure that the
That's
coach
true.
has done the right thing by choosing the starting lineup. Now, can you consistently do this day in and day out?
But
they still have Zaza on the
those-
bench.
Exactly. They have
Zaza didn't
Zaza.
play.
I think Zaza and Belotti are really going to be competing for spot or even playing together.
No,
Zaza knows how
together.
to score, and that's going to be exciting partnership. I
Listen,
think.
I have to be honest with you. I used to like Belotti, but then
Yeah.
after the Italian debacle, when we
Yeah.
didn't qualify
I know,
and all
that's
the
what
stuff,
everybody says.
his stocks went down, and I didn't see his attitude being.
He's still 24 years old.
It doesn't
He's
matter.
still a
That's
kid.
He's still
great
young, yeah.
player.
He's a
That's-
workhorse. I like Belotti
And he's
because
the
he's
captain.
a workhorse.
He's
so
the captain of Torino now.
That's
That's
true.
a big
if
responsibility.
you have someone next to him, maybe Zaza next to Belotti could be interesting. I mean, Torino's always been one of those teams where they're inconsistent, like you were talking about. But I mean, look at the players. I like the midfield: Baselli, Rincon. Rincon's a fighter. It's
Yep.
all about a mix. I think it's all about the mix. That's why also Juventus had their struggles because of the style of play they're gonna play. They're gonna have to work on the balance because you can score a lot of goals, but if you let in a couple of goals, you're not always
Right.
gonna score 3 or 4
Outscore.
goals.
Hey,
you know?
Allegri's got the luxury
So-
to take Alexandro
Of
out
course,
to put
One
Bernardeschi.
without a
One
doubt.
second.
But
Hold your horses.
but,
Hold your
I mean,
horses.
that's what it's always about.
Oi.
Ronaldo.
Antonio got a
Antonio
new
has
toy,
like a
guys.
soundboard thing.
Been
And he's
talking about
playing
this
weird
shit for
noises.
weeks. All right,
But,
keep going.
I mean, Roma's a solid team. We were all saying, oh, we don't know about these new players they bought and stuff like that. But
Not bad so far,
I
right?
mean, Pastore didn't have the greatest of
Yeah,
games.
he was a little
but
quiet.
he's still a quality player. The guy Kluivert, I saw him play at Ajax. I just didn't know how much of influence he could have in Serie A. But
He's
came
such a
in
flashy
strong.
player.
Yeah,
How do we
he's
say his
strong. He
name?
has a lot of
Kluivert.
confidence.
Is it Kluivert or
Kluivert.
Kluivert.
I don't know how to
Kluivert.
say it.
Yeah, I can't say it. I know we're gonna
If
get
you're
hounded if
in
we say
Italy,
it.
you call him Kluivert. In America, you call him Kluivert.
That actually, I heard the commentators in Italian saying that. But I'm gonna make a prediction, a bold prediction. Kluivert is gonna end up starting over El Shaarawy by the end of the season.
Wait, Elcha or wait?
El
Does he
Shaarawy.
play on both
Yeah, but-
wings,
yeah,
right?
play-
Dzeko said he could play on both wings. He said he likes him on the left and the right. I think Under it's gonna end up being Under him, Kluivert, and Dzeko.
I think Under is going to be sitting, and then Kluivert is.
I don't know, I don't know.
Either way,
He's gonna have the ability to mix it around.
I love those youngsters. I love that mix of youngsters that Roma have, though. Even Manolas wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
He was one of the better players.
Manolas-
but I don't want
Manolas,
to toot my own horn over here.
Manolas got a little chubby.
Did he?
Oh yeah.
It's a summer. Like give him a couple
No,
more
I
weeks.
get too many spina copitas and
He always was.
That's
a
because
little
Greece
bit
wasn't
no
in the
way,
World.
no way.
Yeah,
a lot
he
of
was
feta
always a little
cheese. He's
bit
been
bigger.
eating a lot of cheeseburgers. This guy here. You have to put
That's
him
because
on.
Greece weren't in the World Cup. That's why. So he had a
Where
little
did
bit
he
more
go, to the Greek
vacation
diner?
time.
Yeah, yeah.
He had a good game though.
Always
Just
to the
like
Greek diner.
stick with the Italian diner, no more the Greek diners, okay, Mike?
Too much cheese for you
Good.
guys.
Yeah.
Also good for Dzeko. Dzeko's always one that's always under a lot of pressure. People never know. Is he great? Is he a great center forward? Is he not a great center forward? The guy always comes in clutch. I know that all the Roma fans were upset. Not all, but a lot of Roma fans were upset when they rejected their offer from Chelsea
That's
back in, was it January? And then he played a huge part in their Champions League and even this season. So I'm not the biggest fan of Dzeko, but I'm happy that Dzeko got
You
him.
can't fight against
I
him.
love
I don't love
love
him. I don't
Dzeko.
love him.
I was not for him, but he proved
I
me wrong.
think-
He shut my mouth
exactly.
with all those goals.
I
I'll
agree
take
with you.
Dzeko over Higuain. I'm an AC
Yeah,
Milan
okay.
fan. Give
Yeah,
me
okay.
Dzeko for Higuain. I'll take
Yeah,
Dzeko.
okay.
They're different style of
Yeah,
players.
seriously, they are
Dzeko's
different
great at
players.
holding up the ball. He's able to
Yeah.
make those certain runs. You saw in the air, he's always lethal, and then he's got a great technique.
With his left
This
foot.
goal,
This goal
is
with his left
incredible
foot.
to be able to place it
did
where
you
he
see
placed
that?
it with
Yeah.
that.
He meant it. That was just.
Yeah.
He plays it like he meant it.
Antonio.
Because a player like that, he could have just gone to collo pieno,
Yeah.
boom, and then the ball would sky.
Antonio, if you
Sky.
hit that, would that have
That's
went in? Where would that have been?
By far, by far.
That would end up on the moon over there. We're gonna try that one day. We'll try that one day.
Oh,
Also, a legend, Daniele De Rossi. He played his 18th season for Roma.
Yeah,
he
he
started his
entered,
18th season. You know, he's obviously older. I don't know if you guys saw this, but they changed the rule that you can't have a custom armband.
Yeah, I saw
anymore.
Papu Gomez. Put it on his-
Poor Pablo.
But De Rossi rebelled against it. He wore his own. So they said there's some problems now, but come on.
they'll probably
This guy's
just
like
fine him.
35 years
They'll
old. He's
fine
never
him.
going to change his
Hey, for the
his
first
armband.
time, Pete, I want to ask your opinion. What do you think about this water break that in
Well, it's
Serie A?
only for now because it's hot.
It was
hot.
90
I don't
degrees.
mind
It was
it.
never,
I don't know.
It was
never.
90 degrees in Torino.
It's not a mandatory
These guys are
thing,
dinosaurs.
but
You wanna
it's-
give them a
it's
little
the
drink?
summertime. When it's the
Yeah.
How
summertime,
about we make
if
you
it's
run
too
for
hot-
90
Yeah,
minutes and we
seriously.
see if you
have
take
it.
any water?
What's
it's
wrong
FIFA
with-
regulation. So
It's FIFA
They
regulation?
did this in
if
the World
it's
Cup,
too
though.
hot, it's up to the referee to give
Torino,
them-
it was 90 degrees
Yeah.
in Torino.
Yeah, yeah,
And they
exactly.
played it was a
But I think I understand
was it even
Antonio's
game?
point because it
It
creates
never,
an
I
advantage.
have never seen done in
to the
Serie A
coach.
before.
No, but also
Never
creates an
done.
advantage to the coach to be able to get all the players
think
and
too
regroup.
much
But
about
both
that.
of them, though, adventure both teams.
Yeah,
at the end
yeah,
of the day,
that's
so
true.
it's even at the
Yeah,
end
yeah,
of the
it's
day. Wait,
even.
you have something against Toronto?
So is the no? See, this is the thing: is that can the coach say, "Hey, time out
No,
for the
no,
water"?
No,
or
no,
is the
no, it's
referee?
already set. It's already
It's the
set.
referee.
Yeah,
It's the
okay.
referee.
What do you think? It's basketball over here?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, hey, the referee all of a sudden needs a drink and says, "Hey, water."
On
water
a
time."
breakaway where they get a breakaway. Okay, water break,
I
right?
think it's decided before the game. They check by the temperature. At
Yeah,
least
exactly.
the World
Yeah,
Cup.
no, it was.
They
It
check
was.
by
So
the
they decided
temperature.
before the game. These
Yeah,
things
yeah.
here. Okay.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
wasn't that big of
They
a deal.
announced it
But-
before.
Okay,
I wanted to just go back to
Yeah.
Lazio Napoli
Yeah.
because I mean Napoli was able to win, but Lazio played pretty well too. I mean I love Simeone Inzaghi. I think he's a great coach. What he was able to do with Lazio last year, and the fact that they didn't change a lot of the players, there's a lot of upside to Lazio. I even I predicted them to go fourth, so I'm pushing for them.
You might
But
be right.
Acerbi, let me tell you, I'm really pulling for that guy
Yeah.
because
He'll do
he-
well. He'll do well.
he had that one stint with Milan. He didn't do
Yeah.
so well, and then he ended up going to another team, and with the battle with cancer
Yeah,
also.
twice.
So
He's a fighter.
I'm
He's
really
a
a
fighter.
fighter,
hoping
yeah.
for him, and I hope he gets the keys to Lazio's defense.
Me
That
too.
was just
I think
something
we
I
all
wanted to
like a
say.
charity. That's,
Yeah.
that
Oh,
was
yeah.
a good point, and it's a good point that you brought that back up because I wanted to say Ancelotti, he's never lost a debut match. All years that he's been coaching, he's never lost. So with Parma, Juve, Milan, Chelsea, PSG, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and now Napoli, and he won them. I think he won all of them except the one for Milan. Come on. What's wrong with you? You see?
I don't think so.
What do you mean? You want to look?
Is it against
look, Piacenza.
Piacenza, that's
you
right.
see?
Okay.
Yeah.
He only pulls the stats for that.
I was giving credit to Ancelotti.
Oh,
What are you
okay.
talking about?
Alright.
I said he won everywhere. Guys, we got to go to
Big game.
the big game.
Ronaldo game.
Chievo, Juventus.
That's a big game. Oh, God.
CR7 debuted.
It's not CR7, CR7.
CR7.
Okay.
I know you want him on your team so badly.
But,
Oh,
but
way.
regardless, we don't have to
I-
say his
I
name
know.
much.
No way.
It's okay. It's
For
okay.
free, I would
It's-
take him.
Ah, now
$100
for
million.
free. Okay.
Antonio, to play or to wash the shoes?
You got the money?
what? CR7.
Soundboard. Money.
Antonio and his little soundboard now. Okay, so this is the definition of never knowing what to expect in the Serie A. A team like Chievo Verona, we know they always finish, mid-table. They never get nervous to be relegated. They never go to Europe. They're very happy where they are. Came out and they played fantastic. I think Juve scored in the fourth minute. Khedira scored. Mm-hmm. They came back, got a penalty kick, scored again. Giaccherino was playing incredibly. Sorrentino, over 40 years old, Sorrentino. And
what
not just now, but throughout the years, Sorrentino has consistently been performing at a top level. So I was very excited for him. And then we all know how it ended up going.
Yeah,
they put in...
Yeah.
1 second. No. One second. Juventus came back, obviously scored 2-2. And then in the 93rd minute,
93rd.
I want to say, Bernardeschi got a little touch to the ball. 3-2, killing the dreams of the Flying Donkeys. But Chievo Verona, like I said, Chievo Verona, they deserve so much credit. There was a stat that we posted.
Sorrentino thought the game was over. He got hit so bad. He had no clue what was going on.
The salaries of every Chievo Verona player combined is 9.5 million. The salary of Cristiano Ronaldo is 31 million. So the difference is just slight. But Giaccherini has always been someone who throws his heart out on the line, and I thought he performed incredibly. And then he had the funny post afterwards. He took a picture with Ronaldo, and he said, Ronaldo asked me to take this picture with me.
Oh, yeah?
But he said he was kidding, but at the end of the day.
I have a couple of things to say about this game here.
Nothing too stupid, Anto.
Oh, no, okay. So Juventus figured that out, that this guy here was basically the wall for Juventus, the goalkeeper, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so what happened? Agnelli makes a phone call. Terza Allegri said, tell Cristiano Ronaldo to put this guy here out of his misery.
Oh, my God.
Okay?
You think that happened?
It's like a second-degree murder. The guy lost conscience on the floor.
No,
right?
that was bad.
Yeah,
that was scary. That was a scary moment.
Sorrentino is out of the game.
Moment.
Otherwise, Juventus would never, not even tie the game.
That was a scary moment.
So,
I mean, we all saw what happened with Sorrentino.
Was he gracious enough at least to call him and said, how you doing?
Yeah, they apologized.
Sorrentino posted out.
It's part of the game. It happens.
Yeah, he ran into him.
He didn't do it intentionally.
He was also pushed by the defender. So, I mean, it was unfortunate. It was unfortunate, but that's part of the game.
I'm surprised he wasn't taken out. I think that these kind of things need to be taken a little bit more seriously.
No, they took him
But,
out.
I mean, I felt like he got up very quick.
They should have subbed him off.
Well, I was scared because they subbed him off afterwards.
Well,
but I was scared because he was just unconscious, face down.
Yeah.
So one of the players went over and
pulled his
tongue, something like that. But I know. But
he only has a broken nose.
Yeah, it was
a rib or something.
It wasn't
that bad.
No, he said they even said that it's not that bad.
It wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, it could have been very bad.
Juventus won the first half. They played amazing. They had a lot of chances versus Chievo, so it's not like it was a lucky win. Chievo fought back. They got that goal, and they got the penalty. Giaccherini converts it.
Yeah.
I think he's a workhorse. Giaccherini is one of those poor man, blue collar worker.
Yeah.
He'll give you 100%,
Exactly.
and he'll play his heart out. But he also has a good touch. It's
Excellent
very
touch.
sophisticated.
Excellent
We remember how he scored in the Euros. Was it against Spain?
That's true.
Hey,
Right?
Pete, why didn't
Belgium?
celebrate after he scored the penalty?
Because he played with Juventus.
Yeah, but you know what? That's garbage.
No,
you know?
listen, there's
You
respect
play for
to it.
Juventus, what,
Garbage.
15
There's
years
a
There's
ago?
a respect to it.
Juventus, they trashed him.
I don't understand what he said.
But
Why didn't celebrate after he scored
He
the
said he
played
didn't
penalty?
want to. He said he didn't want
He
to.
didn't want.
He said he
if
didn't
you
want
have
to.
respect for your old team, then you should leave it at that. Everyone has
Whatever,
their own
yeah,
right
exactly.
to
Tell that
choose.
to your dad. He was not here. Your dad was going against you. I
Guys,
agree with you, Peter.
The best thing was everybody loved following on Instagram, on our Instagram stories, because we had Antonio reacting to all the goals. It was hilarious. It was so funny.
By the way, Cannavaro and Florenzi saw all the stories of you going crazy. Yeah. They saw all of them.
the best part though was I think my favorite part. Bonucci scores, and I had to thank you personally.
He didn't score. It was an own goal.
Apparently, it was an own goal. But
Give me, shake my hand.
Give
Thank
me
you.
a break.
Don't shake his hand.
Keep the loser.
No,
my
but
God.
from Juve, like you said.
And by the way, Bonucci was responsible for the beautiful header
was.
that the guy
Stepinski.
put in.
It was.
Yeah, how do you like
Stepinski.
that?
No,
But
I
the
agree.
defender like that.
I agree. Listen, they're gonna work on it. But yeah, of course, Juve.
They're gonna work on.
Juve,
Wow, this
Juve.
is the national team the center defender. They're gonna work. What is he gonna work on?
Listen, like we said before, every team is going to struggle in the
still
beginning.
early.
It comes to that point. Juve, the past 2 or 3 years have been really struggling in the beginning of the season.
true.
But at the end of the day, you got to win. Juventus, whether you call it luck or whether you call it mentality or whether you call it, having such a deep bench that you're able to create these opportunities, whatever it is, whichever the one,
That's
they
true.
consistently do this. And when you consistently do this, that's how you win championships. That's what they did. Bernardeschi came in big. You could bring. Who did they bring in? Bernardeschi, Mandzukic, and who else off the bench?
That's it. 2.
No, they brought somebody else off the bench. Somebody's here. Uh-oh.
Surprise.
Maybe it's Ronaldo.
Maybe it's Gaetano.
Yeah. Oh, it's Miguel? Jeez, you scared me. Miguel, come over here. Come over here, Miguel. Guys, we have
a guest. Hey, Miguel, how are you? What's up? Good.
You know,
Another Inter fan?
Look at his shirt.
Real Madrid.
Look at his shirt. Real Madrid.
Oh, boy.
What
happened?
They're
Did
going
you
to
hear-
Serie B this season.
The craziest thing, this week, Real Madrid had their lowest attendance in like 15 years.
Why? Because Cristiano Ronaldo's
Ronaldo.
Oh, boy.
45,000. 47.
Yeah,
bro,
don't
but Getafe used to be 90,000 outside the stadium. Anyway.
Bottom line, Real Madrid won, right?
Yeah,
Thank you.
They always win. Anyway.
Thank you.
To get back on
It's
track.
not Cristiano Ronaldo.
To get back on track, Ronaldo, he actually played really, really well. I think that
off the ball, he was very good.
He was very unlucky to not score, but I think that unluckiness was Sorrentino, who made incredible saves. I think he was very surprised with how good the level is also in Italy, where they're not just going to let you walk by them, and they're not just going to let you,
This
even if
not
you're
La
Chievo
Liga over
Verona,
here.
it's not going to be like, oh,
This
live
is
your
not
life.
La Liga.
They were giving him some pushes, you know?
Well, Ronaldo changed positions. He was first as the center striker the first half, and then once who came in, I think he took
They
out
put Mandzukic and
Yeah.
Bernardeschi, and I
and
don't
he
remember
moved
the third
Ronaldo
sub.
to the left
No,
wing. And
Alexandro
Ronaldo
came out. No, not Alexandro.
Khedira, Cuadrado, and Douglas
okay.
Costa.
Yeah, Douglas
came
Costa.
out.
I mean.
Yeah.
For Emre Can, who I was
Emre
really
Can, there we
impressed.
go.
I was really impressed by him, even though he had a couple minutes to prove himself. Mandzukic came in and took Ronaldo's spot up top, and Ronaldo moved to the left. Ronaldo had a lot of freedom on the left. He was dangerous. He had that
cut
one
in.
shot.
I
Sorrentino
think
made a
Ronaldo's
great save.
position is not on the center. It's on the left.
No, he
feet.
can play both. He's a top
he's
player.
more central
He can
now.
play
Yeah,
both.
he can play
Now he
both,
can play both.
Miguel, at Real Madrid, Ronaldo started playing in the center, right? Towards the end?
Towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a natural lefty, right, Miguel? Right?
In the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah,
But
he's
I
a
think,
left
but-
wing. Left wing.
but he's
Yes,
getting
he's a
older
winger,
now,
but
so
the
he's
thing
losing
is-
his pace, I feel
Yeah,
like.
you don't have that pace
Yeah.
anymore. He's lethal up top too, so you rather have him there. He
Closer
can
to
He
the
knows
turn
how to
and score,
finish.
and he'll be able to.
Juve has so many options up
That's
top.
true.
It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, but you know what? It's risky because look at the players that they have. I mean, Juventus has done it in the past when they beat Inter, right? The famous
time?
game. The last
yeah.
time. The last
I
time.
know.
They had Cuadrado playing right back. So this game he had Cancelo, who in Italy he's transformed to the right back, but in Spain he was always a right winger up more advanced. So you have Cuadrado, Dybala, Douglas Costa, Ronaldo, Cancelo. These are five, and then also Khedira, who's always pushing up.
That's true.
6 players that are advanced,
High
and you're
tempo,
not playing
yeah.
that 3-man defense. So like I was talking about before, I think Allegri has a lot to do as far as making sure that Juventus remains balanced, because maybe in Champions League you're able to, to fight, because also the it's more of a free flowing game. But in Serie A, when the smaller teams are going to play defensive and stuff like that, maybe it could create some problems.
And Coppa
So they
Italia,
have
of
to have
course.
that balance.
So
there.
he'll play with 4 defenders, you're saying?
Well,
He
he's
was
playing with
playing
four
with four
defenders, but maybe he's not going to play a 4-2-3-1. He'll go to a 4-3-3 with
started with
Matuidi.
like a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
So
And have
Pete,
Matuidi.
let me ask you a good question right now. This is really a good question for you.
Okay.
When,
What about me?
When Juve is going to be playing, Inter,
Uh-huh.
what are you guys going to do with defensively on Cristiano Ronaldo? What you going to do? If you were Spalletti,
If I was Spalletti.
what would you do?
Well, first of all,
Try not
we
to let him
got
score 2 men.
Versailco, who didn't play yesterday's game, was a big signing.
That's true.
He was
Who are you going to put?
finalist.
Are you going to put? Are you going to put somebody? Are you going to put somebody on Cristiano
you're not gonna put
Ronaldo, or just
somebody.
you're going to let them play their position and
Just
then
zone him.
double up on him?
The style of play now is not what it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, there's
It's
no man
all
marking
about
now.
zonal marking. You have Raddoppio, which Juventus, when they scored their third goal, was because Chievo, right back, was left by himself. He didn't have his supporting midfielder. I don't know how to say raddoppiare. Doubling up on who was Alexandro, who made that cross to Bernardeschi. And that was a mistake. They did it twice because Ronaldo also had that advantage.
Right.
So these are things that Inter have to make sure that they clean up. But I mean, we're still way ahead of
The whole
of
everything
that.
needs to be cleaned up. Who played really good this weekend?
Listen
to
to
say
me.
who played really
Listen to me. There is not everything needs to be cleaned up.
Leave it.
Before, when you make those big purchases, you buy Cristiano Ronaldo.
You don't
AC
run
Milan
into-
buys Higuain.
No team in the world plays good their first game.
Every coach already is gonna have an idea of how to stop those guys.
Yes, but you have to take it step by step. You cannot start thinking about Juventus now when you have 10 games before.
Yeah.
You know, you watch them play and you figure it out. But you have to take it game by game, because what happens is if you don't take it game by game, you have slip ups like Inter. Versus
But the thing
Sassuolo.
is, you can't say for a team like Juventus, you can't tell Peter, say, who are you going to mark on Cristiano
There's no
Ronaldo?
man.
Because if you double up on Cristiano Ronaldo, you're leaving one of
Douglas
Dybala,
Costa.
Bernardeschi,
Yeah.
Mandzukic, Douglas Costa, Quadrado, this guy, that guy. There's so many
So
players.
you answer my question
Yeah.
right now. So you're not gonna double up on him. So you're gonna just put
Now,
somebody. You're gonna
based
just
on
hope
the
and pray.
based
You're
on
gonna
the
hope and pray.
tactics, you're gonna have more of a defensive style, I think. But the point is, it's getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
it's
it's very far
impossible
ahead.
to predict. We got to see how Inter first gels. They have to beat Torino
true.
first before they could beat Juventus.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, like we said, these games are going to be hard. Ronaldo's not just going to come in and score, 80 goals and it'd be like that. It's going to be tough. These smaller teams are very tough, like we saw this whole weekend. And that's what we did see this whole weekend. Another thing, Buffon, he played with PSG and he met Thuram's son, a player that he played with at Parma, Juventus. He swapped jerseys with Thuram's son, which is just
Buffon's living through generations of
Yeah,
of
also
players. This
Weah.
guy.
Yeah.
He
Weah.
played with
Oh, yeah,
Weah.
Weah, that's
ridiculous.
right.
He
I
plays
think
with
he's on
Weah's
his team,
son.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and he's actually
Timothy
from New
Weah.
York. Timothy
Is he
Weah.
really?
He's from New York.
Wow.
Yeah, he played with a couple of my players.
We had Parma come back to the Serie A.
Beautiful.
2015 bankrupt, sent down to Serie D. Obviously heartbreaking. Parma's always been a historic team, both in Italy and in Europe. Back promotions. First time an Italian team has ever done that. And they played their first match back in Serie A. And I think that Parma is one of the most exciting teams to watch. We know they signed Gervinho, which is already a huge signing. None of them played, obviously. They got Cicciretti, Biabiani, Inglese, and Gervinho. Inglese scored already.
They risked to win the game. They were up to nothing, and then they got.
Might as well give them
I
the
know.
Scudetto with that attack. But yeah, they're up 2-0, and then
They're
I
coming
guess
from
the
Serie B to Serie A.
inexperience.
There's a lot of players who didn't play.
Miguel, was Cristiano Ronaldo missed in Madrid for the first game? Was Cristiano Ronaldo missed? Everybody said, "Oh, Cristiano Ronaldo." Was anybody crying for him? Yeah.
No,
I know, no.
He's saying, did you guys
Miss
miss
him at Real
Ronaldo
Madrid.
on your debut? Guys, I got to tell you a secret. Miguel called me crying the day of their debut because Ronaldo wasn't there.
That's not true.
I'm kidding.
That's not true.
Yo, they got Asensio, they got Bale, they got so many players.
That play style changed. You watching Madrid like you watch Spain now.
But Miguel, the rumor was that until Cristiano Ronaldo came into the picture on a transfer situation, that they were going to sack Bale. But now look what's happening. I think Bale is one of the top players in Europe.
Show me a little toy.
My little toy.
Show me a little toy.
So Antonio ordered this thing from I don't know
This is
where.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Wrong
Sorry. Wait.
Time to return it. What is that, Antonio?
Cash. It's cash machine. Cristiano Ronaldo stands for cash machine cash register number 7. Cash register number 7.
I
Okay.
think one other thing I wanted to bring up, since we're talking about cash, your boy, Andre Silva.
Oh.
Do you know what he did?
He scored 3 goals.
He scored 3 goals on his
debut.
debut. Do you know that in all of his games in Serie A, 24 games, he only scored 2 goals. On his debut for Sevilla, he scored 3.
How many times I said that the kid needs time? How many was I pushing for him to
Antonio.
You
leave?
told me sell Andre Silva right
No
away.
way. No
Guys,
way.
let me tell you
You're
something
never
now.
gonna find
Ronaldo scoring hat tricks in La Liga. Comes to Serie A, he can score. We see Andre Silva can't score in Serie A, goes to La Liga, he scores a lot of goals.
But listen, the kid.
Which one's the harder
the
league?
kid is too young.
Yeah, I know.
He really cannot really
Yeah,
take
I know.
the San
He has
Siro
a lot of
pressure. There's
talent.
too much pressure on the kid. Let him develop a little bit more. AC Milan
It's a
didn't sell
loan.
the kid.
It's
It's
a
a
loan.
loan.
Yeah.
So it's good for him. It's good for
That's
him.
why you guys should be happy.
Yeah, I am happy.
One other, Mike, start getting some questions.
Yeah.
I want to say Inter versus Sassuolo. Their last 4 meetings between the two teams.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think were the results?
I think they split the
Not even close.
Sassuolo won
Yeah.
Look
all
at
of
this.
them.
All of them.
God.
A couple
all
of those
4
games at 6:30 in the morning games. I would wake up and see Inter lose to Sassuolo.
Peter the pitch.
Oh my God!
All
please.
losses. All
Yeah,
losses.
it's one. Like I
That's
said, it was a
kinda
dark
crazy.
horse.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
dark horse of Inter. And the funny thing is, we beat Sassuolo when they first came up to Serie A the first 2 seasons,
Right.
7-0.
They took
2
revenge.
times.
Yeah, they got mad
They
about
really
it.
got-
the dark horse of AC Milan too.
Yeah, they beat
Yeah, I
you
know,
a
you
couple
Not
guys-
times.
anymore. Not anymore.
But you
Not
know what?
anymore.
The owner of Sassuolo is a Milan fan.
Oh boy,
So he takes pride in every time
he beats us.
beats Inter.
Guys,
oh, Inter. Okay.
Before the league started, Gazzetta in the morning, they put out, while Michael gets his the questions ready from people, they put out what their top 8 is. They put out the whole thing, but I didn't go all the way. So we just got the top 8. They say Juventus, Inter, Roma, Milan, Napoli in 5th, which also Michael said Napoli in 5th, Lazio in 6th, in 7th Fiorentina, and in 8th Atalanta.
I don't think so. I will do my first 8.
Go, do your first 8.
I will put Inter again, number 1.
He's doing anything
After
to
the
jinx
first
you guys.
game?
He's doing anything.
Yeah, Inter
He's
number
doing
1,
anything.
Juventus number 2,
Oh, get the results.
AC
right over
Milan number 3, Roma number 4. No, actually, AC Milan number 3, Napoli 4th, Roma 5th, and I don't think Lazio is going to do that great this year for some reasons. Let's leave Lazio number 6, fine, and Atalanta is on top of Fiorentina. Atalanta is 7, Fiorentina is 8. Actually, Fiorentina is not going to go,
We have
not
the
that high.
results. We have the results
Okay.
from
From the
last
first
time.
round, yeah. that
All
we
right, the
predicted.
results is.
Can you read it?
Yes.
Your glasses are on.
My glasses are here. Okay,
You
Peter for Inter Atalanta.
Let me go in and
For
Inter
Inter
Atalanta.
Sassuolo. Okay,
what do
Inter
you have?
Sassuolo. Okay, Peter got
probably had
2.
an Inter win.
Oh, Peter,
Yeah.
you got 2.
No,
Meaning
you got it wrong. Yeah.
you got it wrong.
Okay. What else did he have?
Okay,
I'll count how many he got right.
Okay, so what, you want to start from the top?
Just say
from the
Peter,
top.
say all
Start from
Peter.
the top, yeah.
Okay.
All of
From
Peter.
the
Go
top.
down the list.
All
Oh,
Peter.
Peter. CJ was okay.
Chievo,
Chievo
Juve.
Juventus, you got it right, Pete.
Juventus, 1.
Okay. Lazio Napoli, you got it wrong, Pete.
No.
You got an X, a tie.
Okay.
Okay, Torino Roma, you got good. You got
2 right.
Right?
Yeah.
Then you have
Who was it?
what is this?
Parma
Oh,
Udinese.
Parma Udinese 1.
No, wrong. It was a tie.
It was a
Tie.
tie.
Next
And
one.
then
Peter
what is
shaking
this?
his head
Milan
to all
Genoa
this.
Milan Genoa, we didn't play. You should put a a 1,
Nothing,
but you put an
nothing.
X. It's all right. And then Empoli Chievo, right?
Yeah, Empoli 1.
Empoli
What do you
1.
put?
You got it right.
Empoli Cagliari.
Yeah,
Empoli
Empoli
3
Cagliari.
points.
Yeah, 3 points. And then what's
Sassuolo,
that?
Inter.
Sassuolo Inter, you got it too. I don't know about that, Pete.
I don't know about that. How much is that?
Ay. And this is one here. It's what
No,
is this?
Sampdoria Fiorentina.
Sampdoria
Didn't happen.
Fiorentina. Yeah.
Didn't happen.
Why?
The game didn't, because
We don't get
because
the
of
other
that they
Yeah.
like AC Milan against Genova.
Yeah.
And this is what? BS?
Bologna, Spal.
Oh.
What do you put?
I feel terrible for Inzaghi. He put 1. He put an X actually. Pete put an
Nah,
X.
you didn't get it right.
I feel terrible for Inzaghi. It's
Why do
my
you
one
feel
of my
terrible?
favorite because
Milan.
Milan
played for AC
legend.
Milan and he's Pippo is a brother of Simone.
Simone.
And then what is this? Atalanta Fiorentina.
Yeah.
What is this?
Atalanta.
Fiorentina.
Frosinone.
Frosinone, they
sorry.
won't.
Yeah, you did it right, Pete. You got it right.
Yeah.
So,
So
now-
how
4
many?
points. 4 points.
That's not bad.
All right, can I do this quicker?
yeah.
Michael, ask him a question.
Okay,
Ask him a question.
okay, Antonio. Edwin asked this. He said, would Antonio trade Milan finishing in 5th place this year in the Serie A for Cristiano Ronaldo to go scoreless this season?
That is funny. That is fun. That is
Guys, if you're watching the
hilarious.
audio form, make sure you go on the video
That
for
is
this one.
hilarious.
Wow.
Well, look, to be honest, it's going to be better than last season. There were 6 last season,
I don't
right?
think it's gonna happen, but I will definitely consider that.
Really?
I will.
So you need some
consider
time. You
that.
need some time, right?
But okay.
You know, I definitely would. I would.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You really don't like him that much?
It's not. I don't like it. I don't like what
You
Juventus
would
does.
accept Milan doing
I
worse
don't- I
than
don't
Cristiano
like-
Ronaldo doing good.
Yes.
That says everything
No,
about you,
I don't-
Antonio.
No. I know that AC Milan is not gonna go 5th. It's gonna go 4th or 3rd. But
You're gonna go 6th.
Okay, but I don't want Cristiano Ronaldo to score. Especially not against AC Milan, and he's not scoring against us.
Okay. Antonio, you got 4 right, so same thing as Peter, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Mike, keep going. Keep going with the questions.
Okay, another one. This is just more of a general question. What was more impressive, Inter's treble or Juve's run of 7 Scudetti straight? That's actually a pretty good
Come on.
question.
Is that even a question?
I think Inter it's always starts slow, but then picks
Yeah.
up the pace, and they go pretty high, especially after all the millions and millions that they spend, on the Campagna Acquisti. So, but it's a lot more trouble.
Mike, you got 4 right too. All 3
it's-
of you guys have the same
Oh,
thing.
crap.
What about you?
What about you?
I didn't do mine yet.
So that is actually they kind of equalize it.
Really?
Themselves, Yeah.
I think the
Inter-
treble is definitely a harder feat. I mean,
You gotta be
winning
more
7
consistent.
Scudettos.
Yeah, it's very consistent.
Winning 7 Scudettos definitely is something to
Yeah.
be impressed
Yeah.
with. But when did they win these 7 Scudetti? When Inter wasn't existent.
Is that our
When
fault?
Milan wasn't
Marco is the
existent.
truth comment. Marco, I want to
So
hear your opinion after
They
this.
didn't have any real
No
fight.
challenge. No
Yeah,
challenge.
no challenges.
Yeah,
So I mean,
non-opponent, non-opponent.
there's a reason for it. I
Right.
mean, it was the same thing.
This
Why
year
Juventus?
is a
Why
different story.
Juventus fans used to say the same thing. Inter won 5 straight. Oh, but it was because we weren't there.
There
or
was no
Milan
competition.
wasn't
There
there.
was no competition.
So let's X that out.
Mm-hmm.
Winning a treble, the fact that Inter is the only Italian team to win the
A
treble.
little bit more special, right?
I got 3
It's-
right, by
it's
the
great.
way, and my dad got 2.
Oh,
So
wait,
right,
who has 4?
what about Mike?
4.
Yes,
Hey.
we're going out for beers after
Champions
this.
League.
Champions.
Feta cheese after this.
Inter wins the campionato this year. As much as I hate them.
Stop saying that. All you're doing is trying to jinx Peter.
You're playing those Mourinho mind
Look
games.
at his smile.
Oh, wait,
Look at his
wait.
smile.
Guys, don't watch this on audio form. You gotta see this in video for sure. Oh my god.
Peter, but I want him to win. Okay. I want him to win.
You can't
What?
you can't say it with a straight face.
I am. Peter. I want you to win, Peter.
Let's see your bad.
Oh man.
Oh, speaking about your boy Mourinho, I know
Oh God! Wait.
You know.
we don't talk too much
What is
about
Mourinho's? What's Mourinho? This is Mourinho's sound, I think. Oh.
That was pretty good.
Mourinho, we had our best friend Ryan over here who was always
Oh.
a Manchester United fan. This guy almost broke our TV. I'm not even kidding. He
Versus
almost
Brighton.
broke the TV. They lost. Is it Brighton? They lost.
Yeah,
against
Brighton.
3. It's one of those smaller teams.
Yeah, it's Brighton, right?
Right.
3-2. They lost to Brighton.
And they were losing 3-1.
They were losing 3-1.
Yeah.
Mourinho is already being. The odds are going. When is Mourinho gonna get sacked? The players are upset. He's upset. The team looks. Or I mean, we're watching a little bit of it. They look horrible under Mourinho.
Well, it's like a curse for him. He only does good for 2 seasons and then he leaves. Usually he leaves. Real Madrid, he left after 2 seasons. Chelsea, he got sacked after 2 seasons. Inter, he left after 2 seasons. So his history is the fact he's more of a psychologist, than
He's not a coach, the guy. He's more.
He's a coach. Come on, he's a coach. He's won and he's won in the past. The thing is, he takes every last bit of his players. He wasn't happy with the transfer market this year. He made it known before season started.
He doesn't have an
And-
high caliber player on his team. He's got
Of
nothing
course.
but high
But the
caliber.
thing is, the fact that he takes so much out of the players. I think after 3 years, the players need a change, and it's still early, so we'll see what happens. But
You know what
I wouldn't be
surprised me the
surprised if he gets sacked.
Pete,
and
you know what
Zidane takes his spot.
Oh, I would be nice. Pete, you know what surprised me the most? That still Pogba is still playing for Manchester United because I think Pogba, it was.
Well,
I think he
listen,
tried to move.
He tried to move, right? I think
he-
they stopped him from moving or
They,
whatever.
they asked him. They said, "What do you want to do?" He said, "If I tell you what I really want to do, I'm gonna get in trouble."
Because the pre-seasons was Pogba wanted to come back to
Yeah.
Juventus, right?
Or
That's-
Barca.
Or Barca.
One
so,
of those.
Yeah.
I don't know. So the guy does nothing but burning bridges.
Any other good questions?
Okay.
Yeah, I
that?
got one more too. We gotta wrap this up.
Keep going,
soon.
you can say, you
But
can
yeah,
say what
keep
you
going.
wanna.
Hey, one more thing. I think since Miguel is over here, I want a Miguel prediction. Who's going to win the Liga this year, Miguel?
The La Liga or Serie A?
La Liga.
Oh.
Madrid? Okay. All right.
Who's gonna win Serie A?
Who's going to win Serie A?
Because we all disagree over here.
That one is a tough one.
These two say
I
they say Inter, we say
Inter,
Juve.
Inter is playing.
I
feel
want Inter one.
Now that everybody's spending a little bit more money,
Yeah.
I think that everybody got a good chance. I mean,
But what I
that's
mean,
all
everybody.
Even
Sassuolo.
Chievo Verona, right?
Sassuolo.
I gotta say.
Not Milan, right?
Juventus. No. He started. I didn't say anything. I mean,
Maybe if you had Andre Silva, you would win.
Everybody looks even.
Okay.
Except for Juventus getting Ronaldo, which is you got it. It comes into a fact.
That's true.
When you're playing in a game, Ronaldo comes into a fact.
Okay.
Let's just state the facts if we're talking about facts.
Alright.
Atalanta's in first place in the Serie A, and second place is Empoli. If it ended like that, I wouldn't even be mad. I'd just be like, yeah, that's the odds, boy.
It happened.
You would finish third.
Beginning,
It's
it's always like
Yeah.
I hope not. I think Inter. I put all my stocks on Inter. Okay. If I had to put all my money,
How much
all
is
my
your
money.
put?
All my chips are on Inter. Here you go, Inter.
All in.
Are you willing to bet with me?
Yeah.
Are you willing to bet?
Yeah. What we betting?
I bet your house.
Ah, no.
So you're not that confident.
You'll sleep in the studio with us, don't worry.
Go, Mike.
Guys,
Last
we got
question,
another
so we can wrap this
yeah.
up.
So now, do you guys are more people gonna be taking Napoli more seriously after the win against Lazio? I definitely I say yes because I didn't think Napoli were gonna pull off a win against Lazio, And with Ancelotti, it looks like he's pulling the strings together, even though they didn't have the best mercato. And Jorginho left, Sarri left. And,
You can't judge off one game.
I know, I can't, but I said they're going to be 5th place. So that doesn't do any
I said
justice
they're all
for me.
5th too.
I think
I wasn't that crazy.
Napoli first
don't know.
3 again.
Yeah,
First
you
three?
said that already.
First
Okay.
3.
That's what I predicted. I predicted that we're gonna go 3rd. I think the team is still there. They've competed with Juventus up until the last, step. So why is it that they get rid of one player and then they're not gonna be good anymore?
Not just one
The
player.
other teams,
Everybody else got better too.
yeah,
So-
the players got better, but they have a system. They understand how they play. They play together. Ancelotti's a winning coach. He knows how to manage players. He's got PSG experience, Real Madrid experience, AC Milan,
Bayern,
won
everybody.
Champions League. So I don't want to take them out of the Scudetto race. I think, like I said, there's a lot of good teams. Even the mid-level teams can give these top teams
I
trouble.
agree with
So
Miguel, but I say my top 3 teams will be Inter, of course Juventus, because they have all the money. They have
You're a
3
Juventus
teams.
fan, right?
Big deal. But don't discount AC Milan. Don't discount
no,
AC
no,
Milan.
I think AC Milan is
Don't discount AC
definitely
Milan.
with,
We have the best
with
defense.
Bakayoko.
On the paper, we have the best defense. We have the 2 center, the best
I don't
center
know.
in Italy. Why? Bonucci's not a good center anymore. So we got Romagnoli, okay?
You guys gotta play first for us to
Caldara.
And we got Caldara, okay? Then we have Calabria, okay? We got nothing but the top defenders.
see. Top in what?
Caldara, what do you do? Played at Atalanta? What do you
Well,
expect?
playing in Atalanta, but Juventus was was big on Caldara.
Yeah, so big that we sold them on the first opportunity
Oh,
we
they
got.
were forced. They were forced to sort
I'm
total
kidding,
loser.
I'm
Well,
kidding.
what they
I'm
said.
kidding. Now
the
he's a
reason
loser.
why.
First he was your captain, now he's a loser.
Yeah, he's a loser.
The reason why they've been talking about Caldara leaving.
man.
Juventus was not hesitant in selling Caldara because what's his name? He actually played versus Inter.
Yep, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember his
defender,
name.
I'll tell you his name right now. Pull it
Juventus
up.
have a buy
Magnani.
option
He's in
on this kid.
1995. He's
Yeah. Our
Juventus
age.
players.
Really?
So
And we're in a
Juventus, if they
basement.
want,
He's a center back.
they got him. And he played
Okay.
amazingly.
Yeah, he
he's
did.
1.90 m, so he's about 6 foot.
So it's
three.
an upcoming superstar.
He's
He's a solid
I think
defender.
we signed him for 12 million.
Yeah,
You have the
I-
option to sign him. You have the option to sign him. But whatever. We got to see how the season does. One game against Inter, it doesn't mean anything. Last thing, so we can conclude, Mario Balotelli finally announced that he's staying at Nice. We know he's in talks with Parma. He was in talks with a lot of Serie A
I
teams.
wish he came back.
Unfortunately, he does stay at Nice, but he's with Vieira over there.
What a disgrace. I just
Oh my God.
Balotelli is a player that should be valued in Italy. The guy plays, it's a center forward Italian national team. He should be playing for a top team in Italy. I cannot believe that Ancelotti didn't take him, or what's his name, Di Francesco didn't take him, or Gattuso didn't take him, or you guys didn't take him.
You think Juventus is going to get
Yeah,
Balotelli?
why not? He'll make you look good, that guy, you know. And another
Yeah,
thing,
he's gonna hand out- I'm not gonna say.
Cassano is still not
Cassano has been lying for 3 years that he's going to sign for the team. He
Cassano-
does not want to. He only wants the newspapers to talk about him. That's all Cassano cares about. And he's going to eat his fries outside over there in
Not
Bari.
true, not true.
Polpo.
In Bari, we
Octopus.
don't have French fries to begin
Octopus.
with.
I bet you do. Anyway, good job.
Hey, why
First,
don't we look for the next week's game? What's coming up on the
boy.
next week, and then we'll wrap it up.
okay, next week, biggest games: Juventus, Lazio,
boy.
Napoli, Milan.
Oh,
Wow. wow.
First
Not
game
missing
for
this
Higuain.
round.
I'll say Fiorentina, Chievo, because why
That's a
not?
very good
And
game.
Inter Torino, which is going to be hard, and Roma, Atalanta.
Yo, this gonna be
Jesus
a,
Christ.
this gonna be a good
Yo, you
round.
gotta make sure you come here.
They
Alright,
can be
well,
a-
no,
For the
I'm
game.
not sure. I'm not sure. We'll
Okay.
see.
You guys
Anyway,
got
guys.
both quit your job and come in the studio. It's gonna be a crazy round.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Rate the podcast if you enjoyed. Say it.
Okay, listen, guys. First of all,
Oh boy.
First of all, you know that your rating is number 5, right?
There
5
we go,
stars, okay.
yeah.
Number 2, I guess this is your platform to speak about anything you want. Okay?
Not anything.
There is
Not
no
anything.
discrimination over here. As long as you don't say anything bad about AC Milan, everything is allowed over here.
I think we all gotta go.
So,
I think we gotta go, Peter.
by the way, Inter is winning the championship. I made a bet with Peter. I mean,
You
whoever
made a bet
lo-
with me too.
Actually,
I'm getting your house.
Well, the bet that I have with Peter, whoever loses gets to wear the.
I mean, whoever loses. Well,
Okay,
bet.
if
I don't
Inter,
know.
I didn't sign anything.
if
talking
Inter
about like
wins
a
the
derby?
campionato,
No,
I get
come
to
on.
wear Inter shirt.
Not
Okay.
campeonato, not campeonato. Let's do the
Let's
next
do the
game.
derby.
Yeah,
Why
do
don't
the
we do like
derby.
the Inter
Okay.
Milan derby?
Alright.
After the derby,
If Inter
Whoever wins-
if Inter win, you have to wear an Inter jersey that will be
Okay.
provided to you. If Milan win, you have to wear
All
one.
right, that's
And
a
if it's a
deal,
tie,
yeah.
you
I
guys
have
both gotta
an
win
Inter
it.
Cassano jersey
yeah.
too.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Rate the
All right,
podcast
guys,
if you
have a
enjoyed.
nice weekend.
As
Ciao,
always,
guys.
thank you for watching.